Hello, I'm Anna Jameson and I am the manager of the association Naturvetenskap in Sweden. I have also been a pasture beef farmer for about 11 years. So Naturvetenskap as an association was created 20 years ago by WWF Sweden, who had a strong interest in maintaining and keeping and increasing semi-natural pastures in Sweden. So they got all this work going, really. And at the moment we have 60 members of the association, and about 40 of those are also selling their beef as grassland beef, or pasture beef as we call it. The biggest customer we have in Sweden at the moment is Coop Sweden, and they became very interested in having pasture beef on their shops' shelves because of the strong consumer interest in a better meat, not necessarily more tasty or better in the eating way of looking at it, but better from the environmental point of view. And the reason why they ended up using pasture beef as their better meat was probably the long and hard work that the association had done over the past 20 years, lobbying and talking and helping farmers and just making pasture beef a known brand, or maybe you should say it was, in the beginning it wasn't a brand, it was more a way of producing and a way of looking at beef farming. And how did we become known then as a brand or a label? Well, again, it's taken a long time. We've worked with this for over 20 years in various ways. We've had some businesses that have started and failed, and we've had other businesses that have succeeded. And it's taken time. We have worked a lot with chefs, restaurants and people known for good food, perhaps you could say, and by doing so we haven't managed to sell a lot of meat because those actors don't usually buy big quantities, but they are known, they talk in the press and on the television, and they have helped to raise awareness of that this is a good meat, and it's both taste-wise and environmentally wise. Coop, as I said, is the biggest customer at the moment using this brand, but there is also smaller actors, specifically one local meat business, Charkman in Norrköping, who has worked with this now for the past couple of years. But there's and on top of that, there's also individual farmers who use the brand when they sell their meat in their farm shops. There isn't really an average pasture beef farm. I would say you could have both farmers with suckler cows who raise the beef breed calves to meat, but there's also quite big farmers who raise calves from dairy herds as steers. And in fact, I know that quite a few of Coop's, the farmers who deliver meat to Coop, are doing exactly that. So I would say that you can find pasture beef farmers all across the Swedish beef sector at the moment. Is the knowledge amongst the farmers high enough about how to produce quality beef? I would say yes at the moment. Coop is very happy with the quality they achieved. In fact, they were surprised. They were so happy because they were surprised at how good the quality was. They had thought maybe that this was something they would work with over time, but what was delivered to them was really good meat. We as an association, of course, also work with courses and projects to increase the farmers' knowledge of this, but I would say that at the moment that's not our main work task, because it seems to be going all right as it is. And what is the term, what does Swedes the Swedish consumer think of when they say quality meat? Well, there has been a lot of change lately, so that the consumers are more interested in things like marbling and maturing, and but that's top of the range customer. That's the meat you want to buy and talk about at your dinner party, perhaps once a month or something. When you speak to an ordinary consumer in a shop who's just shopping for ordinary suppers at home with the family, then I think quality would be more around environment, animal welfare, and food safety. So quality means all these things, and at different times for different consumers.